Fly like a butterfly. Fly like a butterfly. Fly like a butterfly. Fly like a butterfly.
The Jet Set Radio series really fascinates me simply because of how insanely flashy and cool it is. It's a shame that the series isn't as well known as it should be, because maybe if it was, Sega would get off their asses and make a third game, but I'll talk more about that later. But for now, I want to talk about everything that makes Jet Set Radio so cool and why you should try it out. For those of you who have already played it, we can answer the question, why is it so damn good? I mean, there's a few reasons I can think of off the top of my head: the art style, the soundtrack, the gameplay. Well, maybe not the gameplay, it can be kinda janky at times. I should say the concept of the gameplay, graffitiing and knocking over boxes and shit. And while all these things are cool on their own, it's all about when it works together to create what I think is one of Sega's greatest franchises. In 1998, the now-defunct Sega Studios Smilebit wanted to create something that was more pop culture orientated, rather than the fantasy-heavy title that they did previously. Alongside that, Masayoshi Kikuchi, the director of the game, said he wanted to make something simple and eye-catching. All this was kinda difficult, given how the dev team had less than 25 people and they were all somewhat inexperienced, but even with those struggles, Smilebit managed to create a title that has fun gameplay and an extremely engaging art style. There's a chance that you might already know all this info though, so if you want to learn more about the development of the game, you can check out the Wikipedia article on it. It's actually got quite a bit about the development process. But I won't waste any more time here. Let's talk about the core gameplay is pretty clear. Skate around and make graffiti. These quicktime events pop up and have you twisting the control stick in various ways. You have a pretty large selection of characters to choose from. Beat, the main character, along with Gum and Tab, the two first unlockable ones. And then there's Mew, Yo-Yo, Garam, Cube, Combo, Priyana, and Slate, each with slightly differing abilities. For example, Mew is a more floaty character, while characters like Slate can carry up to 40 cans, while the others can carry around 25 or so. Things like that. You can skate around two cities, Tokyo-to and Grind City, claiming territory against your opposing games by attacking stuff, all while evading the police. As you progress further, you unlock new areas, new characters, and learn more about the plot, which is narrated by DJ Professor K. See, the cutscenes feature this radio show host, who gives updates and insight onto what's happening on the streets. This is the main way that the plot's conveyed. The plot's pretty straightforward. Captain Onishima wants to lock you guys up because graffitiing is kind of illegal, I guess. There's more to it than that, but I don't want to spoil all of it. It's really short, so why not experience it yourself? Tokyo-to is divided into 3 sections, while Grind City is divided into 2, with these individual sections expanding as you unlock more and more of the neighborhoods. Open world, but for 1999. The art director for the game, Ryuta Ueda, said while designing the stages that he wanted to make them feel three-dimensional by having things stacked upon each other and densely packed in, so everywhere feels alive. The downside of this though is that it kinda makes the platforming a bit more difficult since the heights mean that there's risks with your jumps. I don't know why these bozos are trying to jump from building to building in fucking rollerblades, but alright. Something I want to point out is that you can create your own graffiti in the game. Check this out, I made my channel art but really shitty. There's 3 types of missions. The main one is, as stated before, graffitiing. There's also the racing ones, and the point scoring ones. No matter what type of mission you're playing, the game still controls the same way. A bit sluggish and a bit floaty. It's fine, but I just felt the character could have controlled maybe a bit quicker. The whole time you've seen I've been playing this in widescreen, and that's because I'm using the 2012 Steam remaster. Jumping over to the Dreamcast original, you can see we lost our widescreen support, the HD quality, and the word set's been switched to grind. Localizing for a Western audience or something to blame here. Everything else between the 2 versions is pretty much the same, apart for a few UI changes here and there, and camera controls. Oh yeah, the camera controls. If you're gonna play this, get the Steam version. Having that second analog stick that was absent from the Dreamcast controller is a lifesaver. Dreamcast games with bad cameras have caused me a lot of pain in the past. After Sega stopped doing that whole console manufacturing thing around 2002-ish, the Jet Set franchise jumped over to the Xbox with the release of Jet Set Radio Future. Instead of being a sequel, it's a reboot of the series, after only 1 game. But it is understandable that they rebooted it, given how they wanted to capture a new audience that maybe didn't have a Dreamcast and couldn't play the first one. The art style has also changed some, with more muted tones for the environments. I mean, my god, this shit's looking like GTA 4 with how muddied the color palette is, but nah, I'm kidding, it's not that extreme, but it does diminish the whole colorful and flashy aesthetic that the series had going for it. And grinding on rails is way more prevalent in this game than the first one. Now you can magically grind up light bulbs. And the maps are way larger now, evident by the hardware improvement. And even the main hub's explorable now, when in the first game, all you could do is just look around the room by selecting different options. Oh, what's up, little puppy? How's it going? Oh, he's got the cool 3D shades on, ain't that awesome? The controls have been heavily improved in my opinion. Everything feels quicker and snappier. Gliding from one rail to another feels smooth and not like some battle with the control stick. In Jet Set Radio Future, the goal of each location is still the same, skate and graffiti. It's just that there's a lot more locations and characters. Each of the characters have redesigns, and some of them even have names changed. Like I said, because this is a reboot, the plot is roughly the same, except Captain Onishima has been replaced with Hiyashi, the commander of the police force. And he serves the same purpose, just to get in your way. Even with him there, I bet you'll have an awesome time playing it. But you might be saying, hey wait, this game isn't compatible with modern hardware, how the hell am I supposed to play it unless I got an original Xbox? Well, there's some legally gray means of playing it, and these legally gray means aren't exactly perfect just yet. Even while recording footage, it actually crashed on me. But the settings and tweaks that the emulator allows results in it looking like it's been remastered with widescreen and HD quality. It's pretty cool what it can do. By the way, despite the Xbox controller having a second analog stick, it doesn't seem that feature has a movable camera. It's a shame though, the fact that you can only play one game in the series on modern hardware is kind of telling of Sega's pushback for reviving the series. For as cool as the series is and how devoted the fanbase is, it's weird how there hasn't been much content released outside of the two games I just discussed. I mean, there's the 2003 Game Boy Advance port of Jet Set Radio that's Jet Set Radio but isometric, there's nothing else to it really. Like, that was the last real game made for the series. There's been some failed attempts to try to revive it. This article here shows that there was a proposed Jet Set Radio game for the Wii in 2006, but that was shot down unfortunately. In 2017, Dinosaur Games made a pitch for a game called Jet Set Radio Evolution, which could you guess what happened to it? Sega's just been teasing us by including Beat and Gum and some cameo appearances, and that's cool, but like, come on, this series deserves way better. There's not anything else out there that can truly capture the style it's got. I just want Jet Set Radio 3 already. Sega said they were considering reviving the series in 2021, but there hasn't been any concrete news on that. Except maybe it's alright if Sega holds off. If Sega isn't going to step up their game to provide the Jet Set Radio experience, then it seems Team Reptile's going to have to do with the upcoming release of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. And oh, I can't wait for it, man, it's going to be awesome.